I want to change up the way that I form my monthly TBRs. And I also really want you guys to be more involved in my channel and my reading habits and just all of the things that I do. So I decided to kind of reboot something that I started on my channel a really long time ago and epically failed at, and that is a series called You Choose. I'm revamping it a bit. I will be having you guys choose a book I read, much like I used to, but I'm actually going to be much more involved in the process so that I actually have to read the book, which was the problem that I was having when I tried to do this before. So how this is going to work is every month I'm going to have you guys vote on a genre that I will read from the next month. Whatever genre you vote from, I will pick 4 books that I already have on my shelves that I haven't read yet, and then I will film a video for you guys, much like this one, where I will show you all 4 books, explain the books to you, and then have you guys vote on those 4 books. And whichever book gets the most amount of votes in 7 days will be on my monthly TBR for the following month. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you'll know that I already allowed you guys to vote on the genre for February. I just didn't tell you exactly what the voting would be for. Fantasy won, but only by a very, very small margin above contemporary and literary fiction. So I chose 4 fantasy titles that are on my shelves that I really, really want to get to in the near future. I'm going to tell you all about those 4 books right now. I will leave a link in the description box down below to a Twitter poll with all 4 of those titles where you can vote for which one you want me to read, or if you don't have a Twitter handle or you don't want to use Twitter, you can always leave a comment down below and I will use those towards the tally of votes at the end of the week as well. The second thing I'm changing up with the You Choose series on my channel is that in order for me to feel accountable towards reading this book that you guys have chosen for me, at the end of February, so at the end of every single month, I will be doing a review video of the book that was chosen for You Choose. Every book that wins the votes on a You Choose video will actually have a full review video done. As you guys know, I don't film review videos very often. It's rare that I film a review of a book for a booktube video. I wish that I could film more of them, but I find that I don't like my reviews to be super organized, and then I try to film them and then they're disorganized, and then I try to edit them and it's just like a shit show. Before I get started with the 4 books, just so you know, I'm not going to be reading you or giving you a full synopsis of the books. For those of you who don't know this or have not been watching my channel, I don't generally like to go into books knowing too much about them. I normally don't even read the full synopsis on the back of a book before I buy it or read it. So I'm just going to tell you what I personally know about the book, and if that ends up being not enough information or inaccurate, I will leave Goodreads links for all these books down below as well, in case you actually want to read the full synopsis before making a decision. Okay, without further ado, here are the 4 fantasy books that I chose for the month of February. I hope you like these choices. I tried to make them kind of different through age ranges and genres and etc. I decided to go with 2 9 to 12 / middle grade novels and 2 adult fantasy novels to kind of mix it up, but also because I actually want to read all 4 of these books really bad. The first book that you can choose is A Wrinkle in Time. This becomes a movie in March, so I really want to get to it before I go and see the movie, and I also plan on seeing the movie like opening night. I'm like ready to support this movie. I've never read it. I know a lot of people read it when they were much younger. It's about a girl whose dad goes missing. It's kind of like about a magical world where time isn't linear necessarily, so she has to go on a hunt for her dad who's kind of lost in time. It's kind of what I think it's about, but basically I'm really excited about it because it's written by a woman, the main character is a woman, and there's magic. I don't really know what more you could want. Speaking of female authors with female main characters, my second choice is Howl's Moving Castle. This is also a movie that I really want to see. It's been out forever, but I have never seen it and no one has ever spoiled the plot for me. The only thing I know about this is that it follows a young girl who finds a man who lives in a moving castle and there is magic. And I don't know anything else and I don't want to know anything else. It's also one of my best friend's favorite books of all time, and the movie gets ridiculous hype all the time. Next, I have 2 adult fantasy books. The first one I'm kind of cheating with because I've already started it. I started it about 4 months ago, but I put it down and never finished it, and I'd really like to finish it, and that is Uprooted. This is a fairy tale retelling-esque. It's very Beauty and the Beast feeling, but at the same time is like not overly Beauty and the Beast retelling-y. Don't really know if that made any sense to you. Makes sense to me. It follows a world where there is a dragon that lives in a castle, although the dragon is actually just a man who townsfolk call the dragon. And every, I think, decade, he takes one of the girls from the town to the castle, and then she stays there for a decade, and then she comes back with a dowry and leaves forever. And nobody ever knows what happens to them or why they go there or anything like that. So basically Uprooted follows our main character Aneshka, or at least that's how I pronounce her name. I'm not sure if that's actually how you're supposed to pronounce her name. And she is kind of a tomboy. She is definitely not like the quote unquote prettiest girl in her village, but the dragon comes down and ends up choosing her to go to the castle, and it follows the story from there. Basically, I'm about a third, maybe a quarter of the way through the book. I really like the writing, and it's not that I don't like the story. There are just like little parts to the plot that make me like real angry. It ended up making me put the book down, and then I read a whole bunch of other things that I really liked, and I never picked it back up. But I do really want to finish reading this, especially because people are saying that this is a really good comp for Bear and the Nightingale and like the whole Bear and the Nightingale series. And I just finished Bear and the Nightingale, and I'm currently reading the sequel, Girl in the Tower, and they're so good, and I'm like currently on a very big like fairy tale retelling kick. And last but not least, we have the second book in the Wayward Children's series, and that is Down Among the Sticks and Bones. This is the sequel to Every Heart a Doorway, or the like companion book to Every Heart a Doorway. If you haven't heard about the series at all, it's really good. I read Every Heart a Doorway in 2016. It follows what happens to kids that go to other lands, so like what would have happened to Alice or Dorothy after they go to Wonderland or Oz, and they come back to the real world and they know that other worlds exist, but obviously normal people wouldn't believe them. So it's about those kids and what happens to those kids, and it's about like a place where they can go and be with other kids that are like them. And as far as I know, this follows two of the characters from the first book, and you get to see like their backstory. So you get to see Jack and Jill's backstory. Again, don't know much about it. It's also really short, and again, kind of fairy tale retelling-esque, because I'm really in the mood for that lately. Okay, so those are your 4 choices. Again, I will leave the link to the Twitter poll down below. I'll have the poll run for 7 days, so you have a full week to vote. You can also vote in the comments down below. I will accept any form and all forms of voting. Whichever book gets the most amount of votes, I will read in the month of February. I will then post a video review and also a blog post review of the book in the month of February. I will leave Goodreads links for all of these in the description box down below in case you don't like the way that I describe the book, or you just want a more concise description of the book, or maybe you've decided based on my description that you now want to read the book. Doesn't matter. I will leave the Goodreads links in the description box down below for you guys. Also, for those of you who might want to read along with me in the month of February, that would be amazing, and I would be completely open to that. I will announce the winner on Twitter and Instagram for you guys, so if you do want to read the winner along with me, you definitely can. I will post a poll on Twitter halfway through February with the genre choices for Marches You Choose, and then I will post the Marches You Choose video in the last week of February, and that schedule will be the norm going forward. So halfway through March, I'll post the genre choices for April. At the end of March, I'll post the April video with the book choices, etc., etc. So if you want to follow along, those will be the timelines for all of those things. Okay, I think that is all the information you guys need in this video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below, or you can send them to me on Twitter or Instagram. I will answer them on any of those platforms. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And other than that, I will see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading.